Assalamu alaikum. How are you all? This is Latimis from Majidia School and I am here to take today's maths lesson. For today's maths lesson, you will need your maths small book, your maths big book and a notebook. Make sure you have all of these materials with you. Children, let's have a look at our learning intention. We will be learning about vocabularies and properties of multiplication. Our success criteria is I will be successful if I can use properties of multiplication to solve the given questions. Now, can you all repeat the success criteria with me? I will be successful if I can use the properties of multiplication to solve the given questions. In our previous lesson, we have learned about vocabularies and properties of multiplication. Before we move on with our lesson, let's recall our previous lesson. So first, the properties of multiplication. The first property is the order in which two numbers are being multiplied does not affect the product. For example, 25 times 45 is equal to 1125. Also, 45 times 25 is equal to 1125. Whichever way you resemble the numbers or arrange the numbers does not change the answer. If three numbers are being multiplied, the order of multiplication does not affect the product. For example, 30 times 15 times 4 is equal to 1800. In the second one, I have grouped the numbers in a different way. This time 30 times 15 is in a bracket and times 4 is outside the bracket. But this way even the answer is the same. And in the third way, I have also rearranged the numbers in a different way. 30 times 4 times 15 is also equal to 1800. Even though it's two numbers or three numbers, the order of multiplication does not affect the product. The next property is the product of any number and 1 is number itself. For example, 88 times 1 is equal to 88. Also, 1290 times 1 is equal to 1290. Next, the product of any number and 0 is always 0. For example, 326 times 0 is equal to 0. 5 times 0 is equal to 0. Whatever the number is, when you multiply it with 0, the answer is 0. And the last property is multiplication can be distributed over addition or subtraction. First, I will look into an example of addition. Given a number 25 times 57. The first number, which is 25, you keep it as it is, and the second number you write an addition fact for it. I have written 50 plus 7, which is also equal to 57. Now the number outside the bracket, which is 25, is to be multiplied with the numbers inside the bracket. Hence it would be 25 times 50 plus 25 times 7. Now when we solve the brackets, 25 times 50 gives the answer as 1250, and when we solve the second bracket, 25 times 7, you get the answer as 175. To get the final answer, you need to add the two numbers 1250 plus 175 you get the final answer as 1425. Now let's see a subtraction example. Given a number 20 times 17. The first number you keep it as it is, and for the second number this time you do a subtraction fact. We have 17 as the second number, and the subtraction fact that I have taken is 20 minus 3. You can take another fact even. For example, 21 minus 4 would even be fine. The same way you did in addition, now you multiply the number outside the bracket with the numbers inside the bracket. So 20 times 20 minus 20 times 3. The next step would be to solve the brackets. 20 times 20 gives 400 and 20 times 3 gives 60. Now you subtract 460. You will get the final answer as 340. Children, now that you know the concept of distribution of addition and subtraction, I have one question for you all. What if a 2-digit number like 23 comes in front of the bracket to be multiplied with the numbers inside the bracket? Will you be able to multiply it that easily? So my next task is to explain you how to do 2-digit multiplication. Students often think that double-digit multiplication is difficult, but when you actually know the concept, I'm sure that you are going to do very well in it even. Now we are going to do a double-digit multiplication example. Given a number 25 times 35. First of all, we are going to represent the numbers on how to do multiplication. The first number you write as it is, and the second number over here I am going to use a different colored marker to make it easier for you to understand. This 5 over here, and I'm going to use a black marker to represent the tens place. Step 1 is to multiply this 5 with the numbers above it. So 5 times 5 is 25. You write 5 over here and 2 goes up here. Now you multiply 5 times 2. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 2, 12. You write 12 as it is. So 5 times 25 is 125. Before we move on to the next number, you need to cut any number if you have written on the top. The next step that you need to do is you need to put a 0 over here, because now we are going to multiply this 3. This is 3 is in tens place value. Now we are done with the units place, that's why we are writing the 0. Always keep in mind to write this 0. Now we do the multiplication. 3 times 5, 15. 1 goes up here. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. Now we add these two numbers to get the final answer. So it would be 5, 7, 8. So 25 times 35 is 875, or the product of 25 and 35 is 875. To practice more about 2-digit multiplication, now we will do an activity together. To do this activity, I am using some of the cards that I have at home. You can even use the cards at your home to do this activity if you have them at home. Okay, So first what we are going to do is we are going to randomly just take 2 cards and let's see which number it makes up. 94. This is the first number that we'll be using to multiply. Okay, now let's take another 2 cards and see which number it forms. Okay, this time it is 24. So the 2 numbers that we are using are 94 and 24. Let's find out the answer when we multiply 94 with 24. What do you think the answer is? Let's find out. So the question is 94 times 24. Let's do it together. First we will represent the numbers as we do 2-digit multiplication. Then we multiply this 4 with the numbers above it. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 goes up here. 4 times 9, 36. Plus 1, 37. Before we move on to the next number, remember to cut what is written on the top. Then remember to put the 0. Don't forget about the 0, children. Then 2 times 4, 8. 2 times 9, 18. Now we add 6 plus 0, 6. 7 plus 8, 15. 8 plus 3 plus 1, 12. 1 plus 1, 2. So 94 times 24 is equal to 2256. How many of you got this answer? Let's try one more example, but this time you are going to do it without my help. I'm sure you can do it. But first, let's take 2 cards and see what numbers it forms. Okay, children, grab a notebook and note down your first number. This is 77. So 77 is to be multiplied by, I'm taking the next 2 cards, which is 32. So this is the question that you will be trying right now. Can you find the answer for 77 times 32? How many of you were able to do the question by yourself? I'm sure most of you have got the answer right. Did you get this answer as the answer? 2464. This is the answer that you should be getting to the question that you did by yourself. I'm very proud of you all. Even though I did only 2 questions using these cards, you can practice more using these at home if you have them. It's a fun activity to be done at home. Now that you know double-digit multiplication, I'm sure you will be able to do distribution of addition and subtraction very easily. Before we move on to today's work, let's do a little activity. Let's play a game. So to play this game, I have made 4 different emojis. Okay? Let me explain you what each one represents. Okay. The first one, this one means that you don't need to answer any questions. You get a free pass. Why don't you try this one? Okay, the next one. Very cool. Okay, this one means that you get a bonus 5 marks. How many marks? 5 marks. Bonus 5 points. And the third one over here. See, the emoji is even thinking. This means that you need to answer a vocabulary question. I have vocabulary questions over here. You need to answer one of these questions. And then the last one, which is my favorite. See, this one means that you need to answer a question which is over here. You need to take a question from here and solve it using any properties of multiplication. Understood? Now you will be wondering what these numbers are for, right? Behind each number card, there would be one of these emojis. Let's see what are the emojis that I have included. So first, what number are we going to take? Let's try 5 as it's my favorite number. Okay, so the first emoji is this one. What do we have to do now? Take a property of multiplications question. Let's take one from here. So this is your first question, 24 times 6. Let's try this question together. The question is 24 times 6. I am going to show 2 ways on how you could get the answer for this question using properties of multiplication. We could use the first property, which is the order of the number does not matter, meaning we could use 6 times 24 or 24 times 6 by using normal multiplication. 6 times 4 is 24, so 4 here and 2 goes up here. 6 times 2, 12 plus 2, 14. So the answer is 144. Another way to do this question is we could use distributive law. Here I am going to take 6 as my first number and then use 24 as addition fact. 20 plus 4. Now I have to multiply the number outside the bracket with the numbers inside the bracket. So it would be 6 times 20 plus 6 times 4. 6 times 20, I could use, I am going to explain you a little trick. You could multiply 6 times 2, which is 12, and write this 0 over here, and then 6 times 4, which is 24. Now when I add these two numbers, the answer is 144. You can also use, I have used addition of distributive law. You could use subtraction even. Any way that you derive the answer would be fine. Okay, next, what number do you want to take? Let's take 17 this time. What emoji did we take this time? The thinking one, right? Which means that we have to answer a vocabulary question. Take in one. The product of 21 and 12. We are going to find the answer of 21 multiplied by 12 by using double digit multiplication. Let's find out. This time the question is about vocabulary of multiplication. We need to find the product of 21 and 12 or 12 and 21. We can find the answer by using double multiplication. Let's say 12, 21 multiply. So 1 times 2, 1 times 1. Write this 0 over here and 2 times 2, 4, 2 times 1, 2. Now add the two numbers to get the final answer. So the final answer is 2, 5, 2. Hence the answer is 252. Let's take 7 this time. I'm sure there are so many students who like 7. Ta-da! Again it's the vocabulary question. Let's take. The question is double of 36. So if it is double, it means multiplied by 2. What is the answer of double of 36? This time the question is double of 36. In our previous lesson even we have learned that if it is double of something, it means that it is multiplied by 2. So we need to multiply 36 by 2. 36 times 2. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 3, 6 plus 1, 7. So double of 36 is 72. Another way to find the answer for double of 36 is you can repeatedly add the number 36 twice, meaning 36 plus 36. 6 plus 6, 12. 3 plus 3, 6 plus 1, 7. 72. Either way the answer is correct. Okay, what number do we want next? Do I hear 11? Let's try 11. Yay! I got a free pass this time. Okay, now next, what number do you want to try? Why don't we try 1 this time? The first card. It's my favorite one. What does it mean? We have to answer properties of multiplication question. So let's take one from here. This is the question. 8 times 125 times 4. Let's find out the answer. This time the question is 8 times 125 times 4. I need to solve this question using properties of multiplication. I am going to use the second property where when 3 numbers are given, I could regroup them or rearrange them in any order to bring the answer. So what am I going to do is, I am going to rearrange it this way. 8 times 4 times 125. Now 8 times 4 is how much? 32 times 125. Now I can use double multiplication to find the final answer. Let's say 125 times 32 multiplication. 2 times 5, 10. 2 times 2, 4 plus 1, 5. 2 times 1, 2. Now we cut the numbers at the top, put a 0 in the units place, and then multiply the number in tens place. So 3 times 5, 15. 3 times 2, 6 plus 1, 7. 3 times 1, 3. Now we add 0, 10, 10, 4. So the final answer for 32 times 125 is 4,000. So did you like the game that we played just now? I really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. You can play the same game with your family members even to practice more about properties of multiplication and vocabularies of multiplication. Now let's talk about your work for today. Can you all take out your maths big book, turn to page number 42. You will see exercise N3.1. I want you all to do question number 1 and 2 only. Try question number 1 and 2 at home. I hope you will be able to do it without any help from your parents or your sisters. Thank you for participating in my lesson. Hoping to see you all again. Remember to wash your hands, stay safe, stay home, listen to your parents.